says the jump up from GCSE maths to A-level maths is big. You have no idea how big it really is until you get there. I cried at every single university. Have doctors telling you, no, if I was you, don't go down this road. Honestly, you're so underpaid, you're so overworked, it's not worth it, you spend years of training. You can't just pick up and go, oh yeah, I want to study medicine. If I mess up this exam, then I'm not going to university anymore. To my channel. I hope you are doing so well, and today's video I'm so excited because for those of you who don't know, I am going to study medicine in September. I can officially say that now. I've got in and I'm going to study to become a doctor. So I thought I would fill you all in on my journey of how I got in, how I came to the decision, what happened, and why I'm on my second gap year, as you've probably all heard me bang on about enough. I would just like to say that if you enjoyed today's video, then please give it a big thumbs up, and it would mean so much if you would like to stick around and subscribe and join the little family we have going on here. There really is something for everyone, from more medicine content. Now, I didn't want to do anything before because I didn't want to jinx that I was going. A little bit of vegan content, fashion, there really is something for everyone. But yeah, let's just get on with today's video. I thought I would start at the very beginning, and that is at GCSEs. So I took triple science, and I also took like geography, art. I took 9 GCSEs. So the only one that I didn't take was a language. I dropped out of French because I'm dyslexic and I couldn't hack it. For those of you who know the story, it is quite a funny story, but I basically left French and never came back. All through my GCSEs, I was never like the clever kid. I never worked particularly hard. I didn't work not hard. I just kind of like got through GCSEs. My teachers didn't think I was overly clever. I wasn't like going to Oxbridge or anything. And especially my first year at GCSEs, I was definitely more naughty, wasn't really that interested in learning. And then it got to my second year and exam season and them all coming up and the extra pressure that school puts on you. And I really decided to knuckle down. I was like, these exams are going to be with me for life. And that's kind of a mentality that's stuck with me now. Exam season is a short season, and these grades, they stick with you forever. And I knew they were going to be important. Little did I know how important they were going to end up. But I did. I worked really hard for my GCSEs and I got all A stars and 1 A. And then for my A-levels, I've always been much more naturally science-based. So I chose biology, chemistry and maths. This is one piece of advice I would really give anybody that's thinking of doing medicine. You might think you need to take biology, chemistry and maths. Standard, everybody takes biology, chemistry and maths. Oh no. Maths is probably the hardest A-level I ever decided to take ever. And if you don't like maths or you find it hard, don't take it. Everybody says the jump up from GCSE maths to A-level maths is big. You have no idea how big it really is until you get there. It's like monumental. It's not a jump, it's a leap. I found it so hard. It consumed so much of my time. For the amount of work I put in, do I regret taking maths? Probably, but then the only other subject I would have taken would have been RS, and like I've said, I hate writing essays. But if any of you have another subject that you enjoy, whether that's geography or art or DT, French, whatever subject you want to take, medical schools definitely look for chemistry. That's so important. You can apply if you haven't taken biology as an A-level, but maths, you don't need it. All you really need are your 3 A's. Please don't feel like you have to go out and take maths. If you look at any of the requirements for all of the universities, nowhere do they specify maths. It's not going to help you anymore. All you need are your 3 A's. So take a third subject that's even more relaxing or that you enjoy, or if it's just something you're good at least you're going to get your A in it. Whereas for maths, for me, I had to work so hard in it. I had no idea at the time I wanted to go and study medicine. I really hadn't thought about it. My family aren't medics. I have no friends that are medics. The idea kind of come into my mind, but really I always put myself down. I didn't think I was good enough. I was worried about getting the grades to get in. I'd seen friends applying and the extra pressure that it puts on you. I knew I wanted to take maths, chemistry and biology because that was what I enjoyed and what I was good at and the kind of road I saw myself going down. I was only, 17 when I was having having to make these decisions, and it really wasn't what I saw myself doing. And of course you have to start looking so early at what you want to do. By the end of your first year of A-levels, you have to start looking into what degree you want to do, and to be honest with you, I had absolutely no idea. I didn't overly enjoy chemistry. As I said, I hated maths. I found it so hard. I knew I wasn't going to do maths, and that kind of left me with biology, which I really enjoyed. I naturally enjoy science, and I found biology really interesting, so it seemed like the obvious choice. At the time, I definitely wasn't going down the medicine road, so what else would I study? And I honestly went around hundreds of universities, and somehow, I don't know, I really just didn't like that many of them. Everyone says, oh, you're going to get that feeling, like you'll go to this university and you'll fall in love with it, like you will a house. I never got that at any single university. Yeah, the journey continued, and I ended up going to Leeds University to have a look at the biology department, and I really liked it there. I always said to my mum it was the only one I didn't cry at. I cried at every single university because the thought of going to university terrified me. I found the whole thing so nerve-wracking, and I cried at every single one apart from Leeds. So I ended up deciding I wanted to go to do biology at Leeds because I didn't cry there. That was my thought about it. And then I got further into second year, and I did end up questioning whether I was doing the right degree more and more, because I ended up enjoying biology and seeing the point in it less. It goes into so much detail, and really not that much of it is actually applicable. And I just thought, what am I actually going to do with this biology degree? But I didn't see another option, and it was the road that I was going down. So I sat my exams, and then results day came, and I worked so hard for my A-levels, I can't even explain to you. And I ended up getting an A star in chemistry, an A in biology, and an A in maths, which I was so happy about. But when I got my grades and I saw that I was going to Leeds University because everything got confirmed on UCAS, I just really wasn't that excited to go. I've always been like so enthusiastic about everything that I do. I throw myself in 110%. It just didn't feel right. That's the only way I can explain it. The thought of doing the course I wasn't that excited about. I wasn't that excited about going to Leeds University, and I really just didn't feel ready to go to uni. I'd always kind of had in my head that I wanted to do a gap year from when I was tiny. Just wanted to go and travel, see the world, have a break from education, and that whole idea got lost through sixth form, through the pressures of applying, watching everybody else going, and I just kind of wanted to do what felt normal and felt like the safe option to go straight off to uni. Yet when results day came, I realised in fact this wasn't the safe option, because I was so unsure about what I wanted to do, where I wanted to go. I deferred my entry. I remember that evening I wrote to Leeds University. I wrote the longest email explaining why I wanted to take gap year, what I wanted to do, and they were just like, yeah, sure, that's fine. Work hard for your grades, because as long as you get your grades, they're very like, yeah, that's fine, do what you want. They really don't care about you taking a gap year, because you have your grades and they know you'll come back a more mature person. Then very suddenly I had a whole year on my hands, something that I hadn't planned for. I got a job. I also knew I wanted to volunteer, and I used to ride when I was younger, so I wanted to work in a riding school, but I did it with disabled children. So I worked for RDA, worked with some amazing children and formed such strong relationships. And this really was the first time that I'd actually properly been helping people. And it was the first time I'd really worked with people with like complex conditions and disorders. I guess really this was my first kind of insight into what medicine would look like, trying to help people in such a different way, but it really did open my eyes up. And then I went to India on a volunteer project, and we worked teaching the children in the slums in the evening, and this was just an incredible experience. I was on my own for the first time. I met some completely different people from all the way across the world, and then I had this time to just really reflect on whether going to do biology was the right decision for me. As cliche as it sounds, I've learned that like in life, to be happy you really don't need that many things, and I saw how health out there for them is so important. Just being healthy, just being alive. I don't know, something clicked out there, and I realised that this is what I wanted to do with my life. I wanted to make sure I was helping people and really giving back to society. And the more I thought about it when I was on my own, the more I realised I really wanted to go into medicine. I knew I had a passion for science. I knew I loved helping people. I think being on my own and having time to reflect away from England, go travelling and just see the world and get out of your comfort zone made me realise that this is what I wanted my life to be like. I didn't want to do biology. I wasn't that passionate about it. And I actually just saw for the first time that medicine was what I wanted to do. So I came back, and after that, what I wanted to do with the rest of my gap year completely changed. I made sure that I got so much work experience. I went to several GPs and did work experience there. I also did work experience in different hospitals. I spoke to doctors, I spoke to junior doctors, I spoke to nurses, I spoke to medical students. I just really wanted to make sure that this was definitely the right decision. I saw the positives, I saw so many negatives. I had people tell me, why on earth would you want to do medicine? And I went back and forth over it. But then I knew it was right. Don't get me wrong, it's very hard to be like, yes, 100% this is what I want to do. Especially when you have doctors telling you, no, if I was you, don't go down this road. Honestly, you're so underpaid, you're so overworked, it's not worth it. You spend years of training, patients are horrible to you, you see horrible things. But then really, when you have in your head is what you want to do, for me, I just like how applicable the science is. You're going to be learning all of these things. You're actually going to be helping people with them. And if you love working with people and you love science and you're not afraid of the challenges or the hard work, then I honestly didn't see anything more rewarding. And I just kind of had my sights after that set on that I wanted to become a doctor. This is a very long story. I hope you're not too bored. So it's all very good saying this, but really I only came up with my decision at about the end of March. You can't just pick up and go, oh yeah, I want to study medicine. It doesn't work like that. You have to go through UCAS, and the UCAS deadline for that year's shut in January, so I missed that. And you also have to take an aptitude test. So you can either take the UCAT or BMAT. I've been and gone, that's like October. And I thought, right, I'm going to email the universities because I have my grades, I haven't applied in the proper way, but is there any way I can get in? And I spent forever and ever composing this email on my experiences, my grades, basically like a really long personal statement, and just prayed that it was enough. I sent this letter off to 5 different universities and everyone came back saying, we've basically shut our applications because there's an interview process. So there really was no way I was getting in that year. I decided to take another year out in order to do the application process properly and take this exam and do the interviews and get in was the plan. Obviously with no guarantee, which was the terrifying thing. I was turning down my place at Leeds to study biology because they wouldn't defer it again. It doesn't work like that. So I had to completely turn it down and start afresh with no guaranteed university. And I knew I had my grades, but in the back of my head I was like, what happens if I don't get in anywhere now? If I mess up this exam, then I'm not going to university anymore. This was like probably the biggest decision I've ever made ever, but it felt right and I was so passionate about becoming a doctor. So here I am now, I'm on my second gap year and I spent the first half of it working and revising and prepping for the UCAT. I didn't want to take the BMAT because I didn't want to go to Oxbridge and the other universities that take it, there's like a handful of them, so I decided to prepare for the UCAT and I actually did really well in this exam. If you're applying to study medicine, then this exam means a lot. If you get a high grade, then you're going to go to interviews earlier, you have a greater chance of getting in. Some universities straight away reject you if you don't get a good grade. If you get a low UCAT, it does not mean that you can't apply. You just have to be more clever about where you apply. So I applied to all universities that take into consideration the UCAT quite highly, as I did well in it. But then you can look at other universities that take into grades more highly, or based more off the interview process. One thing I've learned is no medical school is the same. Like the courses are so different, the schools are so different, their application process, they're all individually so unique. And the niche for me getting in is knowing each medical school individually, what they're looking for, what you should work on, what you should prepare for interviews, everything like that. And I'm so excited to do more content like this. I then applied to Birmingham, Bristol, Nottingham and Leicester University. So I applied there and I got all 4 of my interviews and then I ended up getting all 4 offers. I have a very strong inkling and I'm pretty sure I've decided. If you have to stay tuned to find out where I have decided to study in September. But I'm honestly so excited and I know it's not been like the normal journey. It's all a learning curve and none of my time or having 2 years out has been wasted. Even this year, like I've matured so much and really I think that's why I did so well in the interview. I've had so many experience, so much work experience, but also like so much time to think about whether medicine is really the road I want to go down. And now I'm so excited about going to medical school in September. And as much as it's annoying that all of my travel plans for the rest of this year are now cancelled, at least I have the time to do more YouTube and concentrate on things at home that make me happy and prepare for medical school and get my uni room sorted and all things like that. So it definitely has not been a wasted year, and I got to go to Australia. Maybe it was only for 3 weeks, but to be honest, I would have taken a whole year just to get 3 weeks in Australia. I literally loved it out there. And I kind of feel like everything happens for a reason. Kind of getting rejected the first time just made me more determined to apply the second time and actually know that yes, this is the right decision. And it will be my motivation to get me through medical school, because it's 5 years and I'm sure I'll find the exam so hard, but at least I haven't got in the back of my head like, what if I'd have travelled more? What if I'd have done more things? Or am I doing the right decision? I've kind of already gone through all of that. And now I'm just ready to settle and work hard and become a doctor. I hope I didn't ramble too much, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. And remember to give it a big thumbs up, and I will see you all really soon, everybody. Bye!